Hi, and welcome to another episode of The Rare Agent, where we peel back the curtains on all things real estate. We're your hosts, Jennifer, Christina, and Kelly, offering up a judgment-free space for collaboration over competition, always. Today, we have an epic podcast guest. Some of you may know him, some of you may not, but what I do know is he is a highly accomplished Toronto real estate broker with a fantastic team. We're talking about Instagram superhero Dave Hutchinson. His dynamic personality can be seen shining throughout his multiple social media platforms. So it's no wonder he's earned himself the infamous King of King title and 100 and more 5-star Google reviews. I bring you Dave Hutchinson.
Hi, how are you guys?
We're very excited to have you.
Like we just act like we just sat down. We've been here for 45 minutes already talking. We already went through the whole thing already.
We've already done the podcast and walked away.
Let's redo it starting now.
So anyways, hello and welcome. Thank you so much for coming. I know that you are, this isn't your first rodeo and you've been on several podcasts, but for our listeners and just for us, we want to get to know Dave.
Let's do it.
Who are you? How are you?
Let's get deep.
I'm in. Let's do it.
With the 24-inch sub or two?
24 total.
Okay.
And we want to talk about your to-do list and how you create it because I needed Cliff Notes after that post.
Was it confusing? I think
I feel like it's when I plan my to-do list on Sundays. I'm like, what am I going to do? But you do like a to-do list for your to-do list.
Yes. That's how my crazy brain works. It is. It's a to-do list so basically because in the mornings I get like anxiety if I don't have my whole day planned or if I have things as I go, I carry the notepad with me like almost everywhere. So I'm like, oh shit, can't forget that. I'll write it down. And then I do all that before like 8 a.m. That's between like 5 and 7 a.m. or whatever. And then when I start my morning at 8:30, like on the computer, I take my whole day of to-do list and I prioritize it into my top 5. You
know that notebook?
Yes.
So I have a small story. When I first started, there was this one agent that I love. And I still to this day, when I think about real estate, I want to mimic her her style. And she had a notebook everywhere. And her husband would buy her a new one every single year. And all the years of real estate, she has a notebook. And on her bookshelves, she has all of them. So cute. I started that and I have them. Some of them are I used to try to get through the whole thing, but now, so I still look back and see what I was doing 5 years ago.
That's cool.
And I think you should keep that.
I should. That's really cool.
Keep the colors. Keep it. That
actually is really cool. I like it more from I do the 5-minute journal thing.
Yeah, I do that too.
You guys do that too, yeah? Mm-hmm. I'm making it consistent. I'm trying now I read Atomic Habits and I had a hard time because it's it's hard for me to do that because I have to block out everything else. You know, when you're busy writing down my to-do list and my ADHD brain's trying to sort that. And I'm like, oh shit, my 5-minute journal.
Do you have the 5-minute journal literally at your bedside with the pen ready to go?
I have it at my desk in the morning. So I pretty much get up and I go to the gym right away. Then I have my...
Do you try to do something different every day or do you just try to keep that goal focused?
For the journal?
Yeah, for the journal.
I try to keep a goal, whatever I'm really... it depends.
Yeah, the grateful part or, because some people I don't do it. I'm grateful for what I'm grateful for. I don't try to mix it up. But some people try to say, oh, I'm grateful. And then by the end of the year, they're lost for things that they're grateful for. I'm grateful for this pen because I did this, but
they don't recycle their gratitude?
No, they try to be grateful
I recycle the shit out of my gratitude.
Yeah.
See, that was me though. I totally bought it and I was like, okay, I'm going to spend $50 on this journal. It's going to be fantastic. I'm going to be grateful for all the things. And then I started being like, you were over it in a week. Grateful for the sunshine.
I think.
But whatever. Now that I know that you can recycle it, I feel like I'm gonna dust that bad boy off.
It's cool to see actually it's the words of affirmation. Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's a few times where I've been saying it, consistently over and over and over again. Yeah. Then you get to a point where it happens and you're like, oh shit. And you go back to your book and you see months ago you were talking about it. And it came true. It's really cool.
So it's better to journal and not just text yourself random things that you have to do because that's my to-do list.
You do that? You text it?
I literally text. I have a text this big, copy paste add, delete, copy paste add. It's just
there
ongoing.
I just need to write it down. I'm weird like that. If I don't, because I like to cross it off.
Yeah,
it's
weird, so satisfying.
I did that
for sure.
Okay. Let's bring it back. Yeah. I want to know, Dave. So let's go back to the beginning because I know everybody loves a story. So why did you become a real estate and how long have you been in real estate?
Yeah, I've been in real estate for 6 years now. I don't think anyone, that's not true, but not to generalize. I don't think many people wake up as like a 14 or 15-year-old and they're like, I can't wait to be a realtor when I'm older. I don't think it's a thing.
No, just Justin Bregman.
Yeah, did you guys you guys actually wanted to be realtors?
I know one person that was.
No, man.
I did co-op in high school.
Okay. No one. I mean, it's
my
the thing
dad suggested it, and I was like, no.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. At the time, I was like trying to I was between jobs, like kind of doing I was working for a moving company, which was brutal, and just trying to make it in Toronto. And my at the time girlfriend, her dad was like, "You're very people gravitate towards you, and you're relatable. You should get into real estate." And I was like, "No chance." No way, not a chance. But at the time, I wanted to pay to go to law school, so I needed to do something that I could get some funds. My parents were like, "You're old enough. Get your shit together." And then I got into it. My neighbor at the time, I bought a condo at King and Spadina, and my neighbor at the time, she was killing it. And I'd always see her doing cool. I'd be working, coming home at 6 and dirty and hungry and mad, and she was just gallivanting around the city. And I'm like, "Your condo is way better than mine. You look way happier than me. You have all this free time because I see you on Instagram, having a time. What do you do?" She's like, "I'm a realtor." And I was like, "Oh." Okay. And she's like, "Yeah, you can actually make good money. I can show you how to make good money if you want to come work with me." So I said, "Okay." And then I got into it and never left.
That's awesome.
That's interesting because
Yeah.
you really
now?
your real estate. So to
Yeah.
think that you
Good
had
question.
to fall into it.
That's a good question.
I like her. We ended on bad terms, but she's great.
Okay. She's so selling and she's
I think she's out of the city.
Okay.
She was one that introduced me to she had a thing called lavish leasing. And I still like her. I love her. I love her boyfriend. She taught me a lot, but she was one of the first OG people that was dominating rentals. Mm-hmm. And when I was new, I was like, this is amazing. And I did it for a year and a half, 2 years. But then after that point, I was like, I feel like we shouldn't be doing this forever because this is super tiring.
Exhausting.
And it's, why are we not trying to focus on buying and selling? And I think at that point, she had a team established of a bunch of rental agents. So she was making all the money. Good for her. Kudos to her. But I just didn't see myself doing rentals forever. She taught me a lot about it, pros and cons. But yeah, she was more of the rental side of things, and I wanted to get into buying and selling, everybody does.
I have to ask because I know that you're from London, Ontario. Yeah. Did you make the move to Toronto and then do real estate, or did you do real estate and then come to Toronto?
Yeah, I lived in London, so I played hockey overseas a little bit, and then when I came back to London, I just didn't have much going on. And I had some friends that were moving to Toronto, and I was like, I can come to London and do the same thing that my friends are doing forever and have a kid and get married at 22. Or I can go to Toronto and see what this is all about. And I had one friend who was a promoter at a bar, and he's like, "Do you want to come be my roommate?" And I was like, "Yep, I do." And then I realized that Toronto will eat you up and spit you out. So I got a job as I was doing odd job stuff here and there after playing hockey, and then just working as a moving company. And that's when I was like, okay, I gotta figure this out to survive in this. This city's so expensive, right? Mm-hmm. It's such a crazy city. So I think I realized that really quickly that you need to do something different and outside the box to make it happen.
So speaking of that, what's your secret sauce? So what is the thing that differentiates you from lavish leasing or anybody else that's doing leases in Toronto?
Good question. I think for me, I'm just I like talking to people. I enjoy meeting new people. I genuinely do. I think I've always been that my whole life. Honestly, I think it started from playing sports as a kid, team sports. My parents always forced me, my dad specifically, and I was always playing with kids that I didn't know. And I used to hate it when I was a kid. He'd always be like, "Oh, you're playing with these kids, they're older this year." And I was like, "Man, can I just play with my friends?" And he's like, "No, they're better. You're playing with this. All right, okay, we're moving up. We're going over here. You're playing over here." So I was continuously moving from different thing to different thing, meeting new people, older, younger, all different groups of people. So I was forced to learn how to communicate with people that I didn't know and just kind of fit in. I just learned that. So when I transitioned that to real estate, I think
what an amazing skill to learn as somebody young.
Always being uncomfortable. I was never comfortable as a kid. My parents wouldn't let me. I wanted to play with my friends, and they'd be like, "No, you're not. You're moving here. This team wants you. You're playing over here." I was like, I don't know anybody over there.
Did they know what they were doing at the time?
No,
or
not
it was
a chance. No, just fluke. Yeah.
It was just my
dad just wanted me to be in the NHL more than anything. He was living vicariously through me, and I was letting him down severely. But I was trying,
Where did you play internationally?
Germany a little bit, and then Sweden a little bit, and Stockholm.
Oh my
God.
God. How young were you?
I was 21, 22.
What was that like over there at that time?
Amazing. Super cool. Super, super fun. Everyone's really it was mostly Canadians. That was kind of cool. Okay. So it's all people from Canadian, US, and we just get to
You understood each other. You knew where, that's where you
Everyone spoke English too.
Just like a super fun question, because I met somebody else who went overseas at a really young age to play soccer, and they had this really crazy story about their foster family. Did you have any crazy? Did you?
I don't have.
How's your foster family over there? Or you were like 21,
Like
so
a
I guess
billet
that.
foster
billet.
family.
No, but dude,
you're right,
his foster mom basically like set aside particular like ounces of milk for him because she was only given a certain amount of money. Yeah, and he was 14 and growing, and he was like, "But I'm thirsty." Anyways.
In Sweden and Finland, there was back and forth. Everyone has a sauna in their house. Like it'd be like having a bathroom.
Yeah.
So like it just is the thing. And the first night when we got there, I remember like it was a long day. Like I just got there. I was with the billet family, and they're like, "Do you want to go in the sauna?" And I was like, "Yeah, absolutely. That sounds amazing." And then I walked in, and they were all like just full naked.
Come on.
And I was like,
I believe it,
"Whoa!"
yeah.
And I was like, "Oh!" And I had my bathing suit on. I was like, "Should I take my bathing suit off?
That's so
Should I
funny.
just get naked too?"
Way to
Like,
bond.
yeah, I was like, "All right." And then they were
Way to
just
be
like,
uncomfortable. Okay.
yeah, so that was my first night there, and it was kind of interesting, but super nice. Everyone, like Finnish people and Swedish people, are very, very nice people, very kind.
Oh, that's
That's
amazing.
awesome. Would you ever go back? Or are you to Toronto now?
I would Toronto, yeah, no, I would absolutely go back. Sweden is like amazing, beautiful, very wealthy city, like just good people too.
Yeah, super accessible too, from what I hear. It's
Yeah.
like easy to move around. Doesn't matter who you are. It's like it's really good.
It's
They've
cool, and
done it right.
they like to speak English, which is cool. So like if you speak English, they'll gravitate towards you, and they want to like practice. You know,
That's
like
nice.
the kid when my billet family had a daughter and the son. The son was like I think he was like 16 or something, and he would like love to talk to me. Like let's just have a conversation.
That's
I was
cool.
like, all right,
I
man.
love that.
Yeah.
I love
Okay,
that.
I love this. Okay, so I know we touched on it just a little bit, but can you
Yeah.
actually run us through what does a typical day look like for you? Like, what is your like successful day? So I know it starts at 5 a.m.
5:30. You know what? I swear to God, I really pushed for 5. I did.
You
but
read the 5 a.m. club, I
I did
saw.
read the 5 a.m. club. It got me. It's tough, man.
You need a
It's-
3 p.m. nap.
Yeah,
You need it. It's hard.
It is really difficult.
You need a little bit of a cat nap.
So honestly, it's more like 6 now. To be honest, I found the sweet spot is like 5:45, 6, and then I'm okay because then I don't have to go to bed at 9 p.m. Like
Yeah, that's the tough part.
You know, like our job sometimes we have to be awake at 9, 10. People are calling you, so like
Even later, like how
For
do you
sure.
actually get a I mean, it depends on how much sleep you actually need, right, in order to function.
When the market is back and everybody's working our odd hours again,
Yes.
there was a few, like that first couple of weeks where I was working like past 9. I'm like,
I know.
oh, I can't handle this right now.
I'm in
like,
bed answering calls under my
I'm like,
blankie.
I had to like change my my phone goes into personal mode by 9 o'clock. I had to
Yeah,
like take it off. I'm like, oh, we're back.
You get some people that are just like nighttime people, right? Like,
Yeah.
I get some people that are texting me at 7 a.m. and some people text me at 9, 10 at night because they work all day or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So you just gotta kind of.
Do you drink coffee?
I love coffee.
Got it.
But I like that Super Bowl tea that I've been pushing. I'm not like I'm not a like ambassador.
What is it?
You gotta try it. Bonkers. It's called Super Bolt. It's a tea, and they're out of Vancouver.
Okay.
He better give me something though for this. No,
I know.
it's-
I want you to teach us how to get sponsors.
Yeah. Talk about eating 24 inches of subs and you're good to go.
Really?
That's it. No.
Oh, okay.
But yeah,
That's very cool.
you're like, wait, what? Belly Busters is sponsoring me. No, not shit. No. It's like a tea, but it's like herbal tea. So I drink coffee. I love coffee, but the herbal tea, like you last longer. You don't feel like you're upset.
You don't get
tummy.
the crash either.
Nothing. It's great.
Amazing. So have you tried that mud water that everybody's
Haven't.
trying to push?
Unless they sponsor me.
Feel free to call Dave.
I can't wait
waiting.
to start saying things
So
like that.
getting
Sorry,
back
I'm not
into your
sponsored. I
day.
can't wear that.
So 6 hours. All
I
right.
actually don't believe in mud water. I only believe in this. They don't pay me enough to. Yeah, no.
Hashtag ad.
Oh yeah, my day. So you want to answer? Oh yeah, 6 in the morning. I get up and like go right to the gym. Immediate gym. Like I'm out the door the second Vay, she gives me like 20 minutes to get ready. She's quick. I don't know how, but I'm in and out right away. At the gym, home by like 7:30, 8, and then just start my day from there. That's when I get my list together. Everything. I prioritize my whole day. Just kind of go from there. I
And so
usually
you
don't
plan it from the morning, not the night before. Your morning.
Yeah, I'm a morning person.
It's okay.
Usually at that night, I'm so checked out. I just don't want to look at anything.
Makes sense.
I relate to you on that one.
Yeah. Like once like 9, 10 o'clock hits, I can't. I'll try, but I can't.
And so is every day different or is every day the same? Like do you try to do like your prospecting in the morning or?
Yeah, pretty much the same. I try to do at least 1 hour to 2 hours of prospecting every day from like 10 till 12. That's like I usually don't see clients until after 1 if I can. Of course, there's certain people that you have to make it work. I did a showing today at 9 a.m., but I try to only make it between or after 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. Then I use my prospecting from 10 to 12. I found like that's a good time to call people because like at night, it didn't really work well for me because people were eating dinner or like, what? You know, like if someone called me
Why
at
are you
6,
bothering me?
I'd be
My
like, what
day's
the
done.
fuck? Call me tomorrow.
Yeah.
And at 10 o'clock, they're like settled at work maybe. They're bored after the first hour. They want to chat with somebody. You want to get like a little break. So from 10 to 12 works for me. And I try to hit anywhere from 15 to 25 dials a day. That's my goal.
So what system are you using?
Follow Up Boss.
And
Yeah, you're
tried
the
and
follow
true-
boss king.
I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. They need to for real sponsor me. Like it's getting enough's enough. Like I gotta stop talking about it. I want royalties. But yeah, no, I love Follow Up Boss. It tracks everything for me, right? Like I'm a big, huge. I know that's another question down the road here, but I'm a huge believer in systems and tracking everything you do because I didn't for my first 4 years of real estate. I just was doing everything willy nilly, calling whoever. You know, I don't know how Bregman does it. The guy's an absolute animal. Like he's crazy. Obviously killing it. But for me, if I don't see what I'm doing and measure my success, I actually think he would probably benefit from Follow Up Boss. I'm not to give him advice
I
because
promise you, I think so too. When
He would benefit.
I heard his system, I was like, oh, if you just like put it somewhere
Yeah.
and there was no spreadsheet, it was like, but some people, I think they just.
He's the matchmaker, though. He's
Yeah,
the
he is.
matchmaker. That's
Yeah,
his
that is the
thing,
thing.
right? And I feel like that's a natural thing.
Big
Like there's
time.
certain things that people are good at, and he's really good at putting house and person
Yeah.
together. And then he calls that person, and it's just like this gut
Yeah, I know.
instinct. Not everyone has it. I don't have it.
No,
you know
I
what I
don't
mean?
know.
And everybody has
He's-
to do the.
he's a different breed. I'm upset. He's the
I need
best.
just more people in the roster, just that you're speaking to with real estate, which I think
Yeah.
you're in the same boat where you're
Yeah.
constantly talking to different people.
Yep.
Where I think you may even get to that point where you're just matchmaking,
Yeah.
and it does work when you have people that are like,
When you can do it with certain clients.
Yeah,
though, but
certain
to do it
clients.
like consistently, like that's like your shtick.
Yeah.
Special breed,
he
man,
is.
Justin.
He's a unique human. That's for sure.
Hi, Justin. We love you.
Big fan. Big fan of Bregman.
Okay, so before we get carried away, okay,
Yeah.
so basically you do your prospecting in the morning and then you do your appointments in the afternoon, and then I'm
Yeah.
assuming you go grab a great bite to eat and hang out and like do all kinds of cool stuff on King.
You would think so. People
Maybe?
like I don't live a very fun life. Like
Okay.
honestly, I'm pretty boring. So if it's when in the summer, I'll try to find a patio. There's actually a few new patios opening up in Toronto, which is really cool.
Share.
I will absolutely because there's. You know what I said? There's nothing in where I'm at King in Portland, and people are like, oh, there's tons of places. But I mean, like I want to walk 30 seconds. Like I'm that bougie. You know, I'm not walking. I don't want to drive. I just want to walk to like work, have
you
coffee.
need a scooter.
Yeah, I need a scooter.
You
I
need
know.
a scooter. It's really
I know.
good. It's fun.
I saw your
She
video.
scoots everywhere.
Yeah, I scoot. If I have to drive, I'll drive, but I try to like scoot as much as possible.
What about your clients in the back?
No, not yet. I haven't gone that far yet. Where not that niche yet. Where I'm only shop. Like if I could just sell in Don Mills,
That'd be nice.
life would be
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
But if it's like more and more of my regular day, like
Yeah.
if I can scoot somewhere, I'm gonna scoot.
That's like, yeah, okay, I don't drive unless it's real estate.
Yeah.
Like, I won't drive my car unless I don't have to.
I
Or-
see
or
your
golf.
frequent videos about how much you hate driving everywhere.
Do you have a
It's
thing
just
or are you
gotten
holding your phone?
worse.
I need to know because I think about it all the time. I'm like, you're so fun and candid and normal. And are you talking? Or
I
are
have a thing. In case the police are watching or something. No, I'm just holding it. But I try to watch
you're
the
in
road.
traffic though. You're not going anywhere, so it's fine.
I'm not
It's
going
gotten
anywhere.
worse.
Totally fine.
It's
It
like-
is the worst. It
it's-
makes no sense to me. It's the worst. I don't get it. They closed Queen and you can't drive on Queen, but you can't drive on King Street either. Adelaide's under construction. So like, and Richmond's down to one
I feel
lane.
like they're trying to make us Sweden, but Toronto is not Sweden.
No, I
It's
know.
not working.
I know. They're trying to, I think they're actually pushing us to not drive. Like I think
They
they, for sure. It has to be.
They
And
just
you have a
they don't
big
care.
vehicle.
Oh, the worst. I need a smart car.
Yeah,
Something.
I had on something unfortunate happened to you, but like, how is
Yeah.
driving that big?
I'm just used to it now.
Yeah, you're just
Yeah,
parking
it is
in
what it is. Yeah.
I went from a really small car to like a mini SUV, and I like it, but I went to a small car because I didn't want to be dealing with downtown
Yeah,
traffic
yeah.
in a big car.
I don't blame you. But yeah, the patios. Sorry, but
Let's go back there.
I was
We
trying-
love food. I need to know.
There's
What's your spot?
Earl's at King in Portland is opening, and they're gonna have a rooftop patio.
Okay, very nice.
There's a place on Wellington called Marbin. It's getting taken over by the people that own Laissez-Faire. So it'll be like a more fun atmosphere.
Hasn't Marvin been around for a
Yes.
bit?
Mm-hmm. It's
Okay.
getting taken
The
over and like
revamping.
revamped.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah. Pizza Nova on like King in
Pizza
Portland
Nova?
Is that where you hang, Dave, at Pizza
Me and-
Nova?
Yeah, I'm just in the Pizza Nova. You guys have a patio here or anything? The coffee?
Wi-Fi.
Yeah, what's Oh, that's good. They got bought out by the Ruby guys. So Ruby Soho
cool.
bought that. They're turning into a patio.
They should
Oh,
sponsor
nice.
you too. I see that
I know.
frequently.
They're good. They got good stuff there. It's the only patio that's like really open that's during the day that I can go and get work done on a patio, even though I have a nice patio in my condo. But it's nice to be out. You know what I mean?
Oh, for
I'm
sure.
taking Kelly out to a patio, and I've never been, but I'm excited.
Where?
Harriet's, is it good?
It's great.
Is it good? Yeah, fantastic. I should be
I don't
excited.
love the food. Like, it's not horrible. It's just like I'm not excited about it.
Okay.
But the drinks are unbelievable, and the atmosphere is crazy.
They told.
Beauty.
I mean, okay. I'm such a nerd. I'm such a
When are you
suburban
going?
dork. Like they tell me to spend like $100. I'm like, I would happily spend over 100. You should see how I eat. But like when someone tells me I have to spend 100
No,
bucks,
yeah, you're like, no.
why?
Yeah. Do I have to? What about
What if
Barrow?
I just want some prosecco? Like, what?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can't do that.
Barrow's great. I love. It's like
I haven't been there in ages.
It's great. It's chill. Food's unbelievable.
Okay.
And
Okay.
the owner's a good dude too.
I like it. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hit up all of these spots.
I'll give you the recommendations.
All right.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Got you.
That's okay.
But yeah, I don't live that cool of a life. I think people think, and maybe I posted I do. I golf a lot.
I mean, you look
that.
cool. I'm not gonna lie.
I feel kind of cool sometimes, but I mean, most of the time, I'm just at home working on my patio, drinking
love
unlimited coffee or tea, Super Bowl tea.
When I do see you having fun, though, it is golf. Do you tend to golf for work or for fun? Or do you mix it?
You know, in my head, I like to say that it's for work,
Yeah,
but
but
it's
it's
for
not,
fun. Yeah.
yeah.
I'm with my buddies that none of them are buying real estate. I mean,
Just keep
sometimes
doing it. Consistency is king with anything you do.
Yeah,
Everybody-
right?
yeah.
I'm gonna meet somebody that's gonna want to buy something from me. I mean, you're around wealthy people. Like sometimes you get paired up with people, and you just kind of comes up naturally. Like you know how you like, especially if you go like a Tuesday at noon.
Yeah.
You're like, what
Who's
are you
on the golf
Yeah,
course?
what are you doing for work? Because you're not at work.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm like,
Doctor.
I own it. Yeah, lots of like really wealthy people, and it's an
Yeah.
expensive sport. If you play at
is
certain
very.
courses, it's like $200 a round, and it's like
I would love to go, even though I'm not an avid golfer, I'd love to check out Angus Glen.
I just was there.
Yeah, I saw you
It's
there.
not my favorite course.
Oh, no.
I don't love
You-
Angus Glen.
you golfed.
I golf. I don't
Yeah.
love
Copper
Angus
Creek.
Glen.
I love Copper Creek. My favorite.
I will say
Climber.
I have yet to pick up a lead on the golf course, but my dad has brought me several leads from the golf course.
Come on.
Thank you, Randy.
He's an avid golfer.
I love that. Where does he play?
Mill Run. That's where they live in Uxbridge. Yeah. But
That's
always a
another
good
conversation.
spot.
Stay out of Mill Run.
Yeah. I'm coming to
We
I'm
got
going.
territory.
Yeah. But you're not allowed. Sorry.
Okay,
man.
so I'm going to ask one more question just
Yeah,
to
yeah.
get to know you just a little bit more.
Yeah.
Your team.
Yeah.
How does it help you? I mean, obviously it helps you a lot, but how does
Yeah.
it help to like elevate your business? What does the
Yeah.
structure look like? How
Yeah.
do you like them?
For sure. Yeah. I like them.
You
yeah.
better like them.
Hate. No, honestly, I think one of the things I thought about when I was creating a team, I've always learned more when I'm in a teaching position because you have to stay on top of everything, all the changes, everything that's new, what's going on in the market. They ask me questions all the time. So it actually helps me stay sharp in terms of like my knowledge on the real estate world. I'm obsessed anyway, so I'm researching all the time anyways, but it does help me stay on top of things because they're always asking me questions about what's going on in the market, price per square foot, whatever, or like, stuff that's changing with Treb. So I'm always, involved in that kind of stuff too. I'm on the YPN network too committee, which
good
I don't
for
think,
you.
yeah, it's cool. But anyways, how it helps my business, I think it's just power in numbers, right? Like I think people move the money at the end of the day. And if you have more people representing your brand and building a strong brand behind you, it's just you're able to do more. And honestly, I've had clients yesterday, I wasn't able to make a showing and I can easily pass it off to someone on my team and I'll pay them or we split the deal or however you want to work it. I'm always available. There's never a time, there's never a part in the city we can't go. A guy on my team, Hanny, he just closed a client who is an unbelievable guy. He was super indecisive about where he wanted to live. And I know he follows me on Instagram. I love him. He's a client, but I don't think at where I am in my career, I would have had the time or the patience. He started in East, like Durham, and ended up buying in Kitchener.
You love it.
Right? And
This is real estate, friends. This
right,
is real estate.
and
Okay.
he was just looking for a house for him, and the price he got priced out of Durham real quick. You all know how fast Durham went nuts there, and like I said, I don't think I would have had the time or the patience to do what Hanny did. He's a newer agent. He's gung ho, and he closed them. He's a great new agent. Got his first sale on being like a month in the business.
Amazing.
And he drove them all over. It just worked out well, right? So
How soon after you got started in real estate did you decide to actually open up the team?
yeah, I never wanted the team. It's actually Brett Stark's fault.
okay.
Yeah. I never had any intention of having a team ever. I was like, I truthfully don't think I was fully ready. I was like 4 years in the industry, 4 years in the business. Brett said, "Hey, this girl wants to meet you. She wants to work for you." And I was like, I'm good, man. He's like, she's really cool. She'll be really great. She wants to meet you. And I was like, you know what? Okay, whatever, sure. And I was in the time of processing and changing to EXP. So I was like, okay, EXP has the rev share kind of thing. This might actually work. Let's see how this goes. And I met with her. It was Tony. And then she was like, if I'm joining though, my best friend wants to join too and work for you. Her name's Kendall. And I was like,
Nice.
okay. And like Tony's amazing, and Kendall's still with me, and she's been with me for 2 years now, and like she's like the best, like my sister, like literally. But yeah, no intention of starting a team, and it kind of just forced me into a big learning curve really quickly. But yeah.
I was going to say, your team, obviously we've been around them, seen them, met them, whatnot. You have a great culture. Is that like you just happened to find the right people because you attracted them? Like, how did that come about?
Honestly, it's crazy. It's a good question, and I'm happy you brought it up. It's weird how that happened. I honestly Kendall is just like good energy, so I knew like her as like my rock, I guess, my main person. She has like great energy, and she attracts really good people around her. Then we got a few guys that came in. They were just everyone's just super nice.
Yeah.
Everyone's super nice, and everyone kind of started recruiting like their friends because they're like, look, everyone has friends in real estate, and they were maybe not having the best experience with their team. And they're like, the way we're running it is different over here. Like, you should come check it out. And it was everyone's friends. And we do a lot of like team outings. We usually do at least once a month team outing where we go and we do something unique. We went to like the ROM. We're supposed to go.
I'm joining next time. You guys sound like you're having so much fun, man.
It's
I love
hard.
it.
It's hard. And, yeah, like we usually go out and like have dinner and drinks like once a month. We'll go out and have fun. And my team, we went to Paul Greenberg from the agency. He had an open house, and it was actually super cool. It was the agency, which is like a kind of a competing brokerage. They had a huge open house, and we walked in, and I had my whole team with me, like 8 of us.
Nice.
So
amazing.
They opened the door, and they're like, "Oh, welcome." We're like, "Hey, we're from Rare," and we were like the life of the party. So everyone was like looking at us, like staring at us, and we were drinking like all the drinks, and like eating all the food, and like having such a good time. And people were like, realtors are always kind of trying to, be like super professional, like hello, and we were just like, can we have a shot? Can we get 7 shots? You want shots? So, like the mom realtor was like, I'll have a fucking shot. Like, get her a shot.
Tell the mom for a shot.
Yeah, like, give her a shot.
Before this podcast, but that's okay. Different conversation.
Jen had her bottle in the bag. She's fine.
It's
Smart. But yeah, culture. I think culture is what's lacking in this industry a lot. And if there's no, like, we treat it like a family. I really try to have my team like a family. Like everyone, we have a group chat. We do our every week, monthly or weekly meetings. On Mondays. Yeah, and the way I run my team is a little bit different too. But we can get into that if you want later. But the structure, it's up to you. Or you want me to talk about it?
Go for it.
Yeah, go.
Let her rip.
Yeah. So the way I have my team is like it's a tiered structure. I think I talked about it. So basically, I found the issue was when I was on my second year and a bit of having a team. You give all your time and effort to these people, and then they get to a point where they're like, well, why am I giving you 50% of the deals anymore? You've taught me everything I can learn from you. So they leave, which is, I told you can't get mad at them for that, right? Like when they don't need to call you every day or call you once a week, what's the point of them giving you money, right? You're not really providing anything other than culture. So I have a tiered structure that allows people to kind of move up and down throughout my tiers where they give me either 50% of the transactions or 0, and they can actually create their own team within our team. You know what I mean? Like I give them the people that are at the top more of like a mentorship role. So they feel really like appreciated. It makes them feel more responsible and kind of like obligated to the team. But it's worked really well.
That's really cool. We've talked about that a lot, the evolution of teams. In our first episode too, we talked about what we see for the industry, and it's really cool to see you putting that into practice and kind of, changing the way we look at teams and making it more fun. Yeah,
it's like real estate. Honestly, I tell everybody, real estate can be such an amazing career. Like when I got into it, I joined, I'm not going to say the name of the brokerage just because I'm going to talk poorly about it, but I showed up and I was like, hey, we're doing like a lunch or going out to get drunk or something this weekend. And everyone's like, no. And I was like, well, what the fuck is happening here? And you're like, hey, do you want to hang out later? Like, you want to? No. I'm like, okay, what are you doing? Nothing.
It turns into that sometimes.
You want to text me? No. I'm like, well, this is brutal. I'm like, this could be so much fun. Like, why aren't we out doing the cool things and like having fun with it? You can make a lot of money and be around a lot of really great people. And, that's what I think at Rare, we all have that kind of thing. I know it's a question at the end, but we're all willing to like share here, like, so it's just, I don't know.
So many brokerages are stale, man. I'm sorry. I've been
true,
in a few.
Me too.
I've been in real estate for enough. I'm not going to, say anything, but it's just, it is what it is. It's where you go. It's when it was established. It's how it was all kind of done. And anyways, Rare's really cool. But okay, it's not just the Rare Agent podcast. It's anyways,
it's called that.
Blah, blah, blah. Christina, I know that you have some questions about systems and processes for date. Oh,
yeah.
Sorry,
well, I'm going to tie it into this one
it.
question. So your team, your mentorship, all that stuff. So do you have a way that you want them to market their properties if they're using their brand? How do you get them like ready to, be a marketing agent? Like, do you have a specific way you want them to do their projects, do their listings?
Yeah, we have our systems in place that like our backend systems that when they get a listing, it's kind of like a checklist of what they do when they get listings. Right now, I think it's kind of cool. Like what I've built is we all respect each other. So they would never do, and like, I think what you're getting at is they would never disrespect me in terms of like doing something silly. They would always follow our systems and kind of follow that. But in terms of an actual like branding with DGH or whatever, I let them brand however they want to brand their properties. They don't need to brand as my team. But we follow systems, like it's just a checklist on how we do things.
What type of so you're really on digital marketing, but what type of old school marketing tactics do you use? Yeah,
I do mailers for like home evaluations, and it's working really well right now. I'm not going to say what I do exactly because
I've been waiting for you to share this because at the awards you were like, I have this big secret.
I know it's not a secret. It's just,
we won't let it
no one's doing it yet. I'll
no
tell
one's listening to this anyway.
No, basically what I've been doing is just like a mailer with very minimal realtor marketing on it.
Keeping it chill.
Very chill. Not my big... I find the issue with realtors is that when they do this mailer marketing, it's their big face and, like, look at how great I am. You know what I mean? It's like, no one gives a shit. I don't want to see... I get it. There's a lot of, like, pretty realtors and stuff, but, like, I want to know I want to get the answers. So I made a very minimal, like, almost no realtor branding.
Very, like, guerrilla marketing.
Yeah. Hey, you want to find out your home's worth? Here. And they're like, a lot of people are kind of like, oh, what? And then, obviously, I slide in with I'm a realtor. But I'd have my angle of that is that... I'm just kind of like helping. It's a very confusing time for homeowners. I actually believe that. A lot of homeowners are like, is the market coming? What the fuck is happening? Like, it's so crazy and it's been so up and down over the last little bit that a lot of homeowners just genuinely want to know the value of their home. And I think what I am really good at is building and nurturing relationships. So if I can get that person's information, they're in my database, I know where they live, I know their name, I know their phone number, I can nurture that for as long as I want. I'm not trying to be overly pushy and be like, you got to sell it right now. It's worth $4 million. Let's get it on the market, But I do like stop bys. I go check. I say hi to them, once every couple months or something. I email them all the time. I call them probably like once a month to say, hey, house on the street sold for this. Just letting you know. I'm like, okay. One actually turned into a rental listing, which sucked. But like she was like, oh, my basement's actually a separate entrance. I'm like, cool. Why are you letting that sit empty? And she's like, well, I don't want this and that. And I was like, there's ways around all of this. Just let me show you. And then I got her a tenant, and she's like thrilled. So like,
why not?
Yeah. So that's
it turns into an advisor role.
Right. I'm just kind of giving like, I'm just.
Have you been doing this in condos or have you branched
houses.
Out to houses in different neighborhoods in Toronto?
What I did actually was why I find condos you're going to hit a lot of renters and they probably just throw it out. What I did was I actually searched before that website got shut down that Foch was using, that Habitat.
Yeah.
Amazing. But there's still other stuff out there. But basically I searched like the most transactional neighborhoods across the GTA that were like least days on market, most transactions per neighborhood, and I just blasted those areas. Like I'm not even
Have you done it a couple of times?
3-4 times. I did.
Because I know you're tracking that. So like how many have you sent out and how much has like come back to you?
Yeah. So I did 4,500 mailers to Queen West area.
Nice.
And I had seven leads from it and 6 listing appointments.
Ah, it was really good. That's great.
Yeah, it was good. And then we just did another one in the similar area, which didn't go as well. I think we got like 4 or 5 leads from that one, but there was less cards, 2,500. Then we did Durham region because Durham was like going crazy right now. And I actually did have a few listings in the area and a few buyers. And I was like, you know what, this could work well for me.
Yeah.
And then I got about 7 from that, no in-person listing appointments. And then I'm waiting for my results from Mississauga.
Very nice.
I love that. So you're just basically testing the market and seeing what sticks.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that first. Then if I get good results, I'll double down and probably hit that area, twice as hard.
That makes a lot of sense.
How are you going to decide that I need to home down on King West or Queen West or in Durham? Like what's going to help you make that decision?
I think honestly the Toronto area that I targeted was like Queen West-ish area, like Trinity Bellwoods, super high price points. The issue I found was a lot of those people have realtors because it's
like the beach.
Right. They're not just looking for a new realtor. They just genuinely wanted to see what their house was worth. And I was like, shit. But I mean, it's still a good connection to make in a sense. And I think by just providing free value, they really like appreciate that. So, checking in on them, giving them frequent updates, whatever. Like the one girl is just like a friend. She has a $5 million house. She's listed it with like every agent in the city. Yeah, I know. She just got a price she wants. And she's like, I know this is crazy. I know. She's like, I know it's not worth it right now, but I want this number. I want 5 million. And I was like, cool, I'll be here when it's 5 million. I'll call you the day that I think it's worth that price point. I'm going to sell your house for you. She's like, cool. And we talk all the time. She teaches yoga. We chat. She texts me.
Wait,
Amazing.
teaches yoga, $5 million house. How does that equate? I don't understand.
Yeah, I think it was family.
Time.
But
I was like, well, she maybe bought it like
that too. I think it
40
was house stuff
millionaires
with the family. It's probably worth like 4 right now.
Okay, I just have to say, and I have to say this because it bugs me. I used to flip back in the day, and I remember when Trinity Bell was like 600,000.
Is it crazy?
Dumbo move, not to like actually. I was like, that's expensive.
We just saw one. I got an offer going in right now for a 12 and a half foot lot by 60 foot lot for like 1.1.
Wow,
it's crazy.
It's a matchbox.
It literally, like, it's insane. There's 3 units in there. Now with that new law that passed, I think it's gonna boost that property's area like crazy. You can have 4 units in the house like that, right?
For sure.
Because everybody wants to be there.
That's what I mean.
Like one of the coolest spots in
Your
Toronto.
vacancy rate would be like next to 0. You're gonna rent that out in 2 days.
Yeah,
for a good price.
Put it on Marketplace.
That's what I mean. You don't even need. I said that. I'm like, I'll do it for free, but you're not, like, you don't need to put it on MLS.
No,
like,
definitely not. Those pockets, it's not hard.
And like a basement, I've seen some basements. We're looking around with a few clients, and basement apartments in that area are renting for like 1,500, 1,600 that are studios. The ceilings, like, I'm like trying to show this is beautiful, you know. Like
I used to do when I first started $900 basement apartments. Like it was making $400 a deal. Like is so. It's just escalated so quickly over a decade.
I'm sorry, but can we just talk about the basements of Toronto here for a minute?
Have you been in them?
Like,
crazy.
The ones that are like done and renovated are so beautiful, but then the ones that are like OG Toronto.
Yeah.
Like,
Nona has a place on top, and you're just like with her linoleum in the bottom.
your bedroom's a cold cellar.
I do have to ask though, because you were talking about, obviously you use Follow Up Boss, you have great follow-up systems. You're talking about you sent out these mailers and how you keep in contact. You are very natural. I know there's a lot of agents out there that have trouble with their follow-up system because they feel pushy.
Right.
They feel salesy. For you, it's cultivating the relationship. So how do you do that? Like, what are your first 5 touches? How are you building that?
Yeah, that's a good point. And I think that's one thing that I tell my team all the time is that their mindset is that a lot of new agents have the mindset that they're calling these people. I don't want to bug them. I called them yesterday. Like, you're not bugging anybody. You're actually providing value. And I think realtors have this misconception that if you're sending a lot of emails or texts that you're spamming the people. But actually, it was a coach in the US that had this line, and it was like, spam isn't about the consistency, it's about the quality of that email. If I get, and it's funny, he said that, and I get emails from him literally every single day, and I read every single email. No joke. And I never delete them. I read every email, and he emails me every day. He's like, see, you read it because it's actually good quality. So if your consistency doesn't matter as long as you're actually bringing value. And most of the time, these people, I'm not just, like picking a number out of they reached out to me to ask me a question. So by me calling them, I'm just actually providing the value that they asked about. So to switch your mindset that you're not bugging anybody, you're providing value and they're going to be happy you called. It makes it a lot easier when you start dialing the numbers. Obviously, your first few calls are a little nerve-wracking, but...
Take a little shot, call it a day.
Yeah, and then I'm a big phone call person. I love calling. It's really changed my business. I think people appreciate that. And I think one thing that I've only recently kind of fell into is your language on how you have these conversations. My conversion rate actually wasn't the greatest. My online lead or like whatever mailer lead conversion wasn't the greatest. And it was probably like a month ago, truthfully. I had this call with my coach and I was like, I think my language that I'm using for these conversations is not the best. I'm lacking. And it was because I was going for the safe conversation every single time. So when someone would call me, I'd say, hi, it's Dave Hutchinson from Rare Real Estate. I'm just giving you a call quickly to follow up on 123 Main Street. You wanted a free home valuation. How can I help you? And most people are like, well, yeah, I just wanted like you know what I mean? And now what I'm trying to do lately is just kind of like build a rapport with that person and just have a natural conversation. One of the first questions I always ask is like, oh, you inquired about, a home valuation at 123 Main Street. I just gotta ask you quickly, like, why did you choose that house when you first bought it? And then usually they're like, oh, well, I love the area. My kids go to school. Oh, crazy. How many kids do you have? And they're like, oh, well, I got 3 kids. Oh, I love that school. Amazing. Yeah, I don't have any kids, but I heard that school is really great, blah, blah, blah. So if you were to sell, like, are you going to stay in the area? Like, what would you be looking for next? And just like building a rapport and having a conversation with people.
So much more natural.
Right? And
rather than going for the jugular.
Right. Realtors, it's so funny. Like, I talked to Kendall about this the other day because she met a guy in the elevator. She knows what to say. She can talk to anybody, this girl. She's amazing. And he asked one real estate question and she was like, and she's like, I fumbled it so bad. And I was like, but why? Like, I see you talk to strangers on the street all the time. And realtors have this thing where it's like, take off your realtor hat and just be a fucking person. You don't got to always be thinking I'm a realtor. What do I say if I'm a realtor? Just have a conversation with the person,
or just sometimes it's just like being real. Like if they ask you a question, just be like, that's a really good question. I probably should figure it out for you.
Yeah,
like,
100%.
and they're like, oh, okay, well, at least she's not talking out of her butt right now, and like
100%.
you know, she's gonna find out.
True. Yeah.
So. Yeah, I think it's sometimes I do it all the time, or I'm like, oh my God, was I talking way too much about work?
I
know.
I think we're the only profession that thinks so hard about what we say to
Yeah.
people.
Oh my goodness, all the
Also
time.
because people trash us. People
Yeah, that's true.
love to hate realtors,
do.
and you know
True.
that.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like people have
you ever read a comment?
No,
Yeah.
I get a lot of it.
Like the
I get a
comment
lot.
section. Oh yeah, of course they're you know, he's a realtor. Of course they're gonna say
we're talking
that.
about it on social media. Yeah, for
It's like,
sure.
oh, of course they want it to be more expensive. Do you know how many times I've like tried to get my sellers to be less greedy? It's like, okay, it's enough.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, I know.
Like, and they're like, just go back one more time, and it's like, but like, no,
Yeah, for
like,
what, you know?
Why though? And they're
That's
like, oh, so it's they don't see that part of it, and I don't think my clients would even talk about that. Like, they'll just say, yeah, she got us the best price, but it's like sometimes you know you have to get your clients in check too.
For sure.
That's not only us, but they don't see that.
Yeah. And then,
don't see
yeah,
it.
so I think you asked me, I also do, like, I have a, like, sometimes up to 8-year-long action plan of email, like, quarterly or, like, monthly check-ins with my people. So, like, I'll try to call at least 10 times to get their attention. And if I don't, I have a ISA that does that for me, too, so I shouldn't lie. I also have people calling. But then once I've made contact with them, I'm always sending them valuable information. I do a lot of, like, deal of the month stuff or, like, off-market ones if I have someone looking to sell something. And I almost always get a response or two. So
I can't wait for you to have a party.
let's have a party.
I think you should have a client party and
Just
invite
for us.
everybody.
Yeah. It's just us, actually. A rare
And then you
party.
have a big client party,
I want to do that.
and then you should see how many like referrals will come out of that too.
I know. That's something that's my weakest part of my business for sure. Is clients, like parties, stuff like that. I know I need to do it. Charity events. I want to do something like that. I want to do like a golf tournament.
Oh, that'd
Great
be
idea.
so
That'd be
really
very
exactly.
on brand.
No,
Very on
if
brand.
a party is
I
not
know.
on brand, but like something like that, and people would
Yeah.
love to sponsor it.
I know. I actually I met a girl the other day. I was getting like a leg tattoo, and she had like 6 dogs, and I was like, I need to pet all of them. I was like, you're gonna have to stop. And she's like, seriously? I was like, I'm not joking. Like, I want everyone's attention for like 5 seconds. And I was like, what do you do? Why do you have so many dogs? She's like, oh, I run a dog rescue company, and we're gonna try to do something in the park somewhere downtown where like adopt a dog day type thing
so
with like
love
rare
that.
banners and
Don't
stuff.
invite me to that because I will adopt
Oh,
the
I
dog.
know. That's-
She's already adopted too. Like, yes.
I
too?
found one. They're my parents technically, but I found one on the street. Anyways, long story. They
Where?
ended up just near my parents' house. I find loose dogs a lot.
Yeah.
I had one the other week,
How?
Diane. She
Interesting.
slept in my bed with me, and then we found her owner. I just find dogs.
Last week.
Like a month ago.
That's amazing.
No, but a
found
year
the
ago she
dog
found a
named
dog and
Diane?
actually adopted it.
I named it Diane. Her real name was Ellie. She was deaf and blind. She was very cute.
Oh, my heart.
But anyways, yes. Charity is great. Love
Yes.
the
Dog
dogs.
whisperer.
But God, I'm a sucker for the dogs
Yeah, me too. Me too.
all day.
My like I have a dog too. He runs the house.
Okay, I'm a cat person. Okay,
Are
I'm
you?
sorry. I'm sorry.
Kendall's a cat person.
I love cats. They're just
make me
so,
nervous.
They're
They make me
beautiful,
nervous
and they
too.
sit there and they're
I don't
quiet,
trust
and they
them.
come for
No.
love, and then they go
You
away.
can't get
I'm
their pee out of
allergic.
stuff.
That's the reason I can't
They
have
ruin your
them.
furniture.
No,
They are
okay,
manipulative.
technically mine do.
Does she-
Manipulative, yeah.
They just think, you know what
She
though?
put
They
up
keep
the
to
iron.
themselves.
I want to ask her. I
Yes,
gotta text it.
she did.
She's
Not for
so-
pigeons, for her cats.
So wild.
Kendall has a condo in a beautiful building. No offense. And like she put like the pigeon nets.
so her cats
So
can
cats
call.
can't get
I
out.
worry about that. I've had clients be like, yeah, I want to be on a top floor and our cat. And I'm like,
Yeah, I know.
Don't do that.
but can we keep the cat inside, please?
Yeah, just close the screen door. You're fine. You're fine.
Too
Okay,
funny.
so you're a new agent
Yeah.
starting out.
Okay.
What do you tell them to do in their
Yeah.
when they first start?
I like to tell people to start with leasing. I built my business on leases. I think it's an amazing way to meet new people for free. Well, make money while doing it. You're not only familiarizing yourself with the buildings, the location you want to work in. You're meeting people for free, putting them in your database. I just told a guy on my team the other day he had a listing for lease, and he had a bunch of people that he showed the property to. And I was like, they're all in your database, right? And he's like, well, no. I was like, what? Like, put them in your database. Every person you meet should be in your database. But like renting, all these new realtors want to pay for leads online. They want to do everything they can to meet buyers and sellers and whatever, and pay for this, pay for that. Instead of paying for this and paying for that, you can literally post online for free. You can meet new people that actually trust you. Not only are they going to trust you, they're going to refer you people. They're going to buy in the future. Like I said, familiarize yourself with buildings, area, location, to the point that when I did so many leases my first couple of years that when I started working with buyers, I walk in, you see the concierge like, hey, Steve, how's it going? Like, oh, Dave, what's going on? How was your weekend? I've seen them 4 million times. There's always one realtor looking for the lock boxes, and I'm like, oh, they're just over here. If you go past there, turn right. They're like, oh, thank you. And my client's like, what the fuck? You know, like the amenities are on the 7th floor. They have a pool. They have this. They have that. And, you know, there's a lot of like, you know, blah, blah, blah. I can say everything about the building because I've been there so many times. So when you put all that work in for the renters, not only does it come back in terms of referrals and they're going to buy in the future, it just looks good when you go for your sellers. So I think the best thing a new agent can do is rentals. I know it sucks right now, and my team's killing me for saying that right now because I know the market's shit.
In what way do you say the market? It's just so competitive?
It's so expensive. It's like everything's multiple offers. You don't go see it in 1-2 days, it's gone. Like one bedrooms now are what, $2,500 downtown? It's bonkers, you know? And it's like, it's hard for people it changed. So we just came from COVID when you couldn't give away these rentals. Now it's like the complete opposite, and people have a hard time transitioning from those changes, right?
Yeah.
So like it's just tough for them, and I feel for them, honestly.
On the landlord side, it's like they're so particular. Like it's like, no, you can't have 2 jobs.
Yeah.
No. Like you got to have 1.
Yeah.
And you got to like, it's so particular.
Yeah. Like some people get mad at like I honestly feel for the person that comes down here. They're a new couple. They're both making like 50 grand a year, which is like, you know, average. And they just can't get anything. Like, they're too new at their jobs, or they're too this. How long have they been dating for? I'm like, well.
But I think on the flip side, though, to play devil's advocate, landlords get so burned
100%.
by a bad tenant. You 100%. You get a bad tenant in there, and you didn't do your own due diligence, and the next thing you know, you can't get them out should they not pay, right?
Yeah, no, 100%.
Because we're Ontario.
That's why I always say to the tenants too. I don't work with them much anymore, but when I do, I'll say, look, you know, because they always get upset when you ask for the documents.
Oh, yeah. And if
you want my credit report? I'm like, look, hey, fuck.
I want your bank statements.
Your bank statement. Dude,
I want your mom's number too, actually.
I actually asked for bank statements. If you don't have a job and you can't actually provide like an income or an employment letter, how else are people supposed to verify you? You know, and people get like,
sides.
I can't.
I have this list. One of my landlords has a list. I have his basement on the market. And I was like, okay, he's been burned so many times. Like, I'm just going to do it for you because you seem to not be good at this. So he's like, okay. I met this man. He rolls up in a Tesla. He has like a portfolio that's Gucci. He has he is decked. And I said, why would you be renting a basement apartment? Like I was so like my spidey senses went up. When my buddy goes, my landlord, who's my friend, he's like, yeah, I'll entertain him. Like, you are crazy. Like this would be so many. We see his bank statements. He's like, oh, he looks like a fraudster. He's like, I'll take a year up front. And I'm like, no, we're not doing this. Like,
man.
He's like, if he can't pay a year up front, I don't want him. I'm like, okay. And I called him. I said, this is the only way you're gonna get it. He's like, that's a lot of money. He's like, I'm like, he told me to tell you that you can afford it. And
yeah, perception is everything.
Yeah, like you can't come dressed in Yeezys in a Tesla when I see your payment is like almost $2,200 a month for a Tesla. Like, wild.
That's a big payment.
I can see why like on both sides, landlords and tenants are
bad for both sides right now, 100%. Yeah. But getting into something a little more fun, we heard through the grapevine that you and Vay, who love Mexico so much, might be thinking of investing there.
Yeah, you
want to be a landlord? Is that the direction?
Yeah.
Yes.
I honestly, I'm torn now only because I'm curious about like Florida too.
Okay. So you just want to be somewhere warm.
Somewhere warm. I think if I can get my team to a certain point where they can kind of run themselves a little bit, and I can give some of the senior agents a bit more responsibility, then I can maybe remove myself a little bit from that equation.
What a goal. That's so amazing.
Right? And then I can travel. I don't want to be like, say I'm gone for the whole winter, because I think I would obviously need to come back and forth frequently. But if I can at least have a place that I can go down there for like weeks at a time would be nice. The only issue with Tulum is there's no mortgages. It's all cash. Usually it's a payment of like throughout the year. And prices have gone up like crazy. Like right now, a 1-bedroom condo in an area that like I would live in Tulum, like a gated community, it's all like expats, would be like $220 US for a 1-bedroom. A big 1-bedroom. All cash. All cash.
Wow.
Yeah. So most people I'd have to sell one of my properties, or like, I don't even know. Whereas Florida or some other places I can get a mortgage, right? So it's tempting to explore those areas. I just know like to live in like a nice part of Florida is not cheap either.
For sure.
So,
and you'd be thinking doing short-term rental when you're not there.
Yeah, they have a company. So like in Tulum, they have and like it's all like one package. Like they sell it as a package. You just have to be very careful on who you invest with, because there's a lot of, it's Mexico. I mean, it's everywhere, but in Mexico specifically, you have to be very careful on who you invest with. As long as it's a reputable builder, they've done past projects. You can see how the project's holding up. That's a concern of mine. There's also the fact that they're building like crazy in Tulum. Tulum, I think, really blew up during the pandemic. It was kind of like the Wild West. Like you'd go there, no masks, nothing. And when everyone was fed up with this, it was like you went there and it was not exist. Like you literally forgot. I went there for a month 2 years ago during the pandemic, like a month and a bit, and came back and was like, mask? I was like, what do you mean? I'm like, oh shit, right.
It's really, it's hard to go back.
It's crazy.
It was hard to go. I totally agree.
Crazy. So crazy. I think that's the only kind of issue is that there's a lot of development happening. And if there's so many developments and projects going up, it's not going to like devalue my one bedroom because these developers aren't stupid. They're selling to Canadians, Americans, and we're all going for the one bedrooms because it's not easy to put $600-700K down. They're all, that's a different level. So there's tons of one bedrooms being built right now. That's going to devalue, I think, the nightly rental rate on Airbnb. But they do all that for you. They have an investment team. I think they take 20% of all profits.
They do the management.
Yeah, but I did the calculations last year, and I think it was around, after paying like taxes, the monthly maintenance fees are like comically cheap, like dollars a month, for them to run everything for you. And after all of that, I think you would walk away with around like 21K US a year profit.
So it does cover itself.
It does cover itself, and you can like the way I was going to structure it was going to open a bank account in Mexico, so that it wouldn't really be shown here. The CRA is watching.
Just kidding.
Yeah, it's like, but that's how I would do it. And then when I go to Mexico, I'd have that money would be my money to spend when I'm down there.
Okay, very clever.
But now you're pivoting to potentially Florida.
I like the fact that you could, if you have $200,000 to invest, maybe I'd toss it into multiple properties.
I was going to say, it goes a lot further if you can finance.
A lot further. So,
and it is easy to get a mortgage? I wouldn't say easy, but what is the process?
That's new to me. I'm looking into it. Like, Matt Campoli? So he's like big into that right now. So I've been talking to him about it a little bit. He's like teamed up with like a financial group and doing some of that stuff, which is really cool.
Super smart.
I heard it's not easy, but it is
possible.
It is possible, and there's a process as long as you hook up with the right people to make it happen. And I mean, at the end of the day, if you have $200K to throw down,
you would not be cash flowing positive here anymore.
No,
$200K.
So you know what's crazy? Like I look at some of these properties, and obviously it's nice to have investments in Toronto, but it's like it's so hard to.
You're gonna need 40% now,
easily,
at least.
And it's like. Yeah. You can spend them, like, I have a client putting an offer in right now for one for like 3 rental or one property with 3 units. They would cash flow because of their down payment, which is 40%. But it's like, once you get that one, it's like, once you
then what are you going to do? You're kind of stuck, right?
Yeah, and it's like, why don't you just buy like a bunch in Miami or something, right? Like
maybe they're banking on. I feel like in Toronto, you're banking on a lot of appreciation, right?
I agree, for sure.
If you do anything into the property, you can refinance it, and you can get. But then at that point, your investment is so high, and you could have been spread out somewhere else, like Florida, right?
That's the cool thing about real estate, though, is like you get to like you told me this stuff 5 years ago. I'd be like, you can buy a house in Miami?
Yeah.
Like, what? Like I didn't know any of this stuff. And I think that's why real estate's such a cool profession, is you get to be, I love that about real estate, is that I was never like the grade A, mathematician in high school. I was killing it in gym, and that's pretty much it. But like now being able to meet these awesome people, and I find that a lot of really wealthy people are always willing to like help bring you up, like the elites, they're not jealous of you. They're bringing you up to their level, and you get to sit at the table with people that are way smarter than you. Is such a cool experience. Like I do a lot of speaking in the US for like Inman and stuff like that.
You're an ambassador, are you not?
Yeah.
So what does that entail? Sorry,
honestly, no, it's okay. Yeah, it's just basically like I help promote the conferences, and then you like basically get expedited to speak on stage. So I think this year I'll be speaking on stage in Vegas.
Oh, that's so exciting. When is that?
It's August, end of August.
Okay.
Yeah. So
we may have to come.
Hi.
FubCon is if you guys didn't come, you gotta come to
FubCon.
Unbelievable.
I was telling Kendall's about it.
Did I say Fub?
It's in California.
Fub. Okay.
FubCon.
All right. Sorry.
Is it in California?
It's in LA.
Yeah. Kendall, I told her, I'm like, please let me know.
You got, honest to God, it was so much fun.
She got so spoiled going to that one in Vegas, and then every because I speak to Kendall sometimes, and she's like, "Oh, I can't believe it! I went to this other one, and it was crap." I'm like, "You went to the conferences of all conferences."
Sorry, what is Vegas and what is FubCon?
So Vegas, okay, so Fall Up Boss was at FubCon is Fall Up Boss's conference.
Got it. Happening in LA.
It was in Vegas last year. Now it's in LA.
When is it in LA?
I think it's end of September.
Very nice. So we'll have to make a trip for that. It
was just so well done, so well organized. Like you showed up and it was just, you walk in, you're like, oh my God, like how much money? And it was reasonably priced. They might jack it up because they killed it last time, but it was $9.99.
It was COVID, man. Everything was like trying to get people to to travel.
Yeah,
now
you're right.
you don't have to force people anymore.
I know. Yeah,
so it
it
was
was-
$9.99, so it'll probably be more this year.
Yeah, $9.99 for that included your hotel and your food.
Oh, wow.
And your
That's
ticket.
huge.
$17.99 for sure.
I know. That's what I mean. Inman's.
Don't give them ideas.
Yeah, sorry. Inman. Yeah. Never mind. Keep it the same, please. I can't afford anything else. Please give me a break.
For real. Like,
So
But
we're
hold on a second here. Kelly's going to a cool conference though this weekend.
going to the multifamily.
And we're doing the the missing middle
Me
thing
too.
on
I'll see
Thursday.
you guys there.
yeah?
Yeah.
Are you
Nice.
on Thursday or the weekend?
There's another part.
So we're going to
I'm not
the
cool enough
missing
for that.
middle on Thursday.
going at
Missing
all.
middle on Thursday.
And this weekend, there's like the big multifamily conference with
Where
all
is
the
it?
big speakers. You know, it's bad. I don't know, but I do have tickets.
It's at the Metro Toronto Convention Center.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it
Good
is.
for you guys.
Days.
So you guys
Super excited.
Wait, are
Staying
you
in the
coming on
city?
Thursday or
Thursday.
weekend? Thursday.
Anyways,
I'm so excited.
we'll discuss schedules
I'm
after.
sorry,
'cause
guys.
We have one last question for
yeah, sorry,
Dave
sorry.
before
Sorry.
we get into the round.
Sorry.
she keeps us on track.
Yeah, I love that.
She's hard to wrangle
Her
everyone
time
in.
management is like
I
exceptional.
have
you need to be a
anxiety
coach.
over time management. So
I told her
anyways,
not to yell at me this morning, and she yelled at me 5 times.
we made it here 8 minutes early.
And I was
But
late.
anyways, we touched a bit about what you foresee for the future with your team
Mm-hmm.
and hopefully being a little more flexible with your travel and lifestyle. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Because you've accomplished a lot in
Yeah.
the last 5.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I think I see myself having like a 200 agent team, like just a mega
Yeah.
team.
Casual.
Just like
Wow,
whatever. Yeah.
you want to go that big?
Yeah.
Amazing.
I
It's
see it a lot in the
brokerage.
States. Yeah. Like the US is really cool like that. They have these like mega teams. It's normal down there. You know, they have these 200-300 people teams. And yeah, I think that's me in 5 years, I hope. I just have like a 200 person something team, big downline, able to kind of like maybe take that and bring it elsewhere in Canada or in the US. That'd be really ideal.
Wow.
That's
I did my
really
cool.
5-year
And then
goals
be
yesterday and I was like, maybe 20. So I clearly need to 10x it.
You can get more than it's actually like once it flows, it kind of starts going.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once you have like it's like let's say 5 people speaking
Right.
speaking well,
Yeah.
really liking where they are. Those 5 people know
Yeah.
5 people, and
Exactly.
it just grows.
I've-
I was like, I just want my assistant, a buyer's agent.
I started like that, but
Compounding. It's all about compounding.
Yeah.
It's cool. Like I think it's building your own culture, you know, because I think real estate's like we talked about earlier. Real estate's very lonely and boring, and if you can create something really cool, and a lot of people want to be a part of something, you know, and if you're a part of something awesome, then I think that's huge. And just being like, not to shit on my original team leader because she taught me a lot, but like I always wanted to be a team leader that will always like be there for people. Like I don't care if I'm on the phone. You can call me at midnight, 6 a.m. I really don't give a shit. Like I'd rather just you feel like that I'm actually here to bring you value and actually here for you to like make you feel comfortable. And like my goal is to make you more money. So if I'm not making you more money, then that's the problem. And and at that point, if I'm nothing I can do for you, then I want you to start doing what I'm doing, so I can show my team to kind of recreate what I'm doing and do it on their own because I think they're ready for it at that point. So.
It's a refreshing way to look at it because I don't come from that world where that's like, oh, you want to build more people around you. It's always, I don't know, just more conservative thinking.
Yeah.
And I really like that mindset. I'm going to start putting in my 5 minutes.
It's cool that like, you know what, like I honestly took the whole money thing away from it. Like I if you don't even look at the money aspect of it, it's just cool to be around good people. And if I can be around as many cool people as possible and they're all having a good time, then fuck, let's make it as big as possible.
Why not?
I love that. Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I think we are ready for the rare
Rare
roundup.
roundup.
Rare
We're working on getting a
That
little
sounds really
sound
cool.
for that.
Yes,
But
Yeah.
hopefully there's going to be a sound that
in the meantime,
A little bell?
it's my turn
something.
to do it this time. So.
Yeah,
Damn
yeah.
it, I didn't bring the bell.
oh, we should.
Okay.
Favorite
All right.
GTA neighborhood?
I gotta go King West. I know I'm gonna get shit on for that. People are gonna get mad at me for that. I'm comfortable there.
Gotta stay true.
Yeah, I'm comfortable there.
As a busy realtor, can't say subs though. As a busy realtor, what's your favorite fast food?
McDonald's.
Really?
Thank
love
you.
McDonald's.
Thank you for being like no one's.
Yeah, everyone's like, oh, healthier.
I like this place that's like.
What's your order?
Same. I have the same order since I was in grade 9. It's 2 double cheeseburgers and 2 junior chicken burgers.
That's so much food.
Protein, man,
I could double
protein.
that. No joke. I could double that now because like I swear they're making them
They're
smaller.
so tiny.
They're screwing me on that. Back in the day, and they used to be $1 each. That's why, because when I was
It was a
broke,
value meal or
it was
something like
99
that,
cents.
right?
It was 99 cents
Yeah.
per one. So when I was broke in high school, like if you had $4, you were balling. So I'd go be like, I'm getting 4 today.
And you're
like
full.
Now it's like $15. Yeah,
Yeah, you don't leave spending less than 10.
never.
Never.
No.
Not even 2 coffees and like a muffin.
I just act like someone's with me in that. What do you want? 2 double cheeseburger. What else? And 2 junior chicken burgers. I get the bag and drive away really fast.
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay. And what makes an agent rare?
What makes an agent rare? I think the thinking different, thinking outside the box. And I think what makes an agent rare is being able to and being willing to share how you've gotten to the success point that you're at. I think that's what I love about this brokerage in particular, but just being around even you guys, like we all share our ideas. I think that's what makes an agent rare, is not hoarding your little secrets and tips. Because I remember it was a long time ago, someone told me this: if you tell 1,000 people how you got to where you got, let's say 10 of those people actually implement that. So only tell as many people as you can. Not everyone's going to implement your stuff. No one's going to steal your business, right? Yeah. If I tell everybody what I'm doing for free, not everyone's going to do it. It's not for everybody, but the 1% that takes advantage of it and starts making money, it's not going to affect my life at all.
No.
There's enough for us all to eat, I think, in real estate. And that's what makes an agent rare, is just being able to and willing to share your secrets to success, I think.
I love that.
100%.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for being late.
Awesome. Your energy is so awesome.
Did we do all right on time?
I think
does it
we
feel
went
different from
over,
other?
but
Does this one feel different from other podcasts you've done?
This is a good setup. No, it's a great setup. I think.
Okay, good.
No, it's really good. You guys are nice. You guys are good people, so it's nice.
We appreciate having you. It's been a pleasure. We were excited for this episode. And to all of our listeners out there, all 7 of them, where can they no, we're growing. We're just kidding. Where can they find you online?
At Instagram is at the Dave Hutch, and then TikTok is at the Dave Hutch.
Amazing. If you're watching, please like and subscribe. If you're a listener, please rate, review, and keep on listening. And we look forward to next time.
Bye, everyone.
Yay.
Bye. Thanks.